I'm Molly Turk, Executive Director of Communications with San Angelo ISD, and I am joined by Mr. Michael Kallenbach. He is our Executive Director of Student and Data Services at San Angelo ISD. Officer Richard Espinosa is the Public Information Officer at the San Angelo Police Department, and Officer Kelsey Hernandez is the Public Information Officer and Recruiter at the San Angelo Police Department. During active safety events with San Angelo ISD, we collaborate with the police department to support safer school environments. So today we're going to go through our safety protocols that we have, how we collaborate together, and then how our parents and our community can support us during those events. So San Angelo ISD uses the standards response protocol developed by the Texas State School Safety Center to let parents, teachers, students, and staff quickly understand what is going on and how to respond. The standard response protocol is based on the following actions: hold, secure, lockdown, evacuate, and shelter. So let's start discussing hold. So what is a hold?
Okay, so a hold is, the idea is to just keep everyone where they are at the moment. Typically, we would be using it for if there's something going on that we don't need any movement. So if it's during a passing period, maybe at secondary schools, or if it is where elementary students are maybe taking a class to the library or to the cafeteria or something like that. In a hold, we're just trying to keep everyone where they are for the time being. Generally, they're relatively short. Whether we contact police or we involve our school resource officers kind of depends on the situation, but typically in a hold, there is not an emergency situation going on where we're in a critical situation. So it's just designed for keeping people where they are so we don't have any movement. I mean, a good example is we had to move some large equipment across the campus. Well, there's no emergency there, but if we have kids moving around, that's not a good idea. So we put in a hold for that time period. So most of the time, though, we're communicating to either through our SRO or from me to Officer Espinosa or to you, why we have the hold and what's going on so they're aware, just in case an emergency does develop out of it.
Mm-hmm. And so when we're in a hold, what are our students trained to do and what are our staff trained to do?
So students are trained to do exactly what their teacher is telling them, which is just a good model in general. So they know to not move around. They know that if they ask to use the restroom or something like that to move around, they're going to be asked if it's an emergency because we have something going on that we have to stay. We take care of their needs sometimes. Usually in that case, they would be escorted by someone or something like that. But they are trained to do exactly what the teacher says. The staff are trained to wait on communication from the principal or the assistant principal, whoever is in charge at that moment, to know what to do. So all the campuses have ways of communicating with the staff and then making all calls over the intercom, things like that. So then again, now what are our parents and our community's expectations when we're in that protocol? So the expectation for parents is, so we've worked really hard on the communication piece and putting that out. And so if we're in a hold and it's going to be a long period of time, or it kind of depends on the situation, but we will likely put a hold on our system, on our website, as far as that we're in a hold protocol, so that parents know. But parents can be confident in the fact that if we're in a hold, we're not in an emergency situation. So sometimes it's unsettling to know, well, they called a hold, but if you know that it's a hold, then you don't have to be worried about an emergency situation, because if it was an emergency situation, we're going to be in a different protocol.
So how does SAIC and SAPD work together when we're in hold situations? So sometimes a hold could be because we have an ambulance coming to the campus to assist a staff member or student. How would we work together on some of those protocols?
So obviously, we've established a way of communicating with each other back and forth to inform not only ourselves, but the parents who inquire about the hold, because a lot of times we do get calls for service as well as emails saying, hey, listen, there was a hold at Glenn Middle School. Do you have any information about it? But we've obviously established that good line of communication between each other, so that way, hey, Glenn is on a hold for a medical situation from which an ambulance was called. Usually you'll notify our SROs who are at that school. They'll notify us as well too, but we have that great line of communication between each other where we're always in the know in the event that we receive those inquiries from the public or the media asking, hey, what's going on at these schools? So obviously having that established is a thing that we pride ourselves on, and being in the know whenever it comes down to it. So
it's a great, wonderful symbiotic relationship that we have with each other.